Guys, here's the story. So, Fox may have finally found a director for X-Men spin-off Gambit after Rupert Wyatt, famed for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, amongst other things, left a few months ago. The Hollywood Reporter claims that Edge of Tomorrow's Doug Liman is close to signing a deal. Gambit is currently set for an October 7th, 2016 release. AJ, what do you think of Doug Liman directing Gambit? And then we'll get on to a few other things about comic books and how they should be handled.
I think Doug Liman's a great director. He's done good work. Yeah, he's done good work.
I mean, Edge of Tomorrow was just awesome.
I'm going to apologise because I was going into territory without it being announced, and this is where it's going to go into. You can be a good director, but when you have
I know where you're
the
going,
core basis of anything, I'm going to take it to what I was told as a kid by my teachers and by my parents. Do your homework. Done.
No.
Do your homework. If you don't do your homework, you're going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And I tell you, there is nothing further or closer to going wrong than annoying. I was going to use the PO words, but I'm going to go with annoying.
What, pissed off?
Hey, okay.
We're going there, this show.
I thought this show was rated U. We're getting closer from PG to PG-13. Here we go. Right. You can't piss off a comic book boy. That's territory you don't want to go down. Do your homework because there's basis behind it. There's 1,000,001 comics out there. There are booklets. We have stuff that highlight what this issue is. People have been waiting for Gambit since X-Men 1. The animation.
He's my favourite X-Men, to be honest. Gambit's always been, be it in the games, in the comics, in the movies, which we didn't have, but Gambit's always been a guy who I've loved.
I'm quite lucky that Wolverine was mine. I think quite popular to most people, and I think I was really happy that Hugh Jackman has just done fantastic. Hugh Jackman has been fantastic as Wolverine, so I don't have that much of an argument, but Gambit was in that cluster of people I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
And that's where people have been waiting for it for so long. You can't let them down, so really do your homework. That's the way
I'm going to elaborate on this, guys. Doug Liman, as I've said, is a proven action director. I mean, Edge of Tomorrow sadly suffered one of the worst marketing campaigns I've ever seen. I mean, it was word of mouth that made this movie the success it did, and it just makes you wonder it could have been even bigger had the marketing campaign been good. I'm going to say this based on what AJ has just said. Yeah, you need to know the character. So my first question, and I'll give you an example of this. Bryan Singer is an openly known fan of the X-Men. Now, I didn't like X-Men Days of Future Past. Hit me up on Twitter and I'll explain to you why. All right? But First Class, which was a Matthew Vaughn movie, fine, and I loved that one.
I did actually.
I loved it. But his first two, X1 and 2, good movies. X2 arguably great. He knows the characters, and I'm really excited to see what he does with Apocalypse. Does Doug Liman have a strong feeling about Gambit? Does he know the character? I'll give you examples of when things work well. Bryan Singer with X-Men and X-Men 2. Joss Whedon, one of the sweatiest nerds in the world, all right? He knows Marvel, and look at what he did. Say what you will about Avengers 2. My attitude is, I loved it.
You can't argue, it was a good film.
That's just it. People were so hyped about it that they ended up saying, it was good, it just wasn't as good as the first one. Yeah, but the first one was so good, that's not saying anything bad about the second one. Kevin Feige, the big cheese over at Marvel Studios, he understands each character, he understands the big project, he understands, and has proven to show he understands, how to create a cinematic universe leading into future movies. And I believe they will continue to do so. And this whole, the bandwagon will stop when they make a stinker. The closest they've got to a stinker, in my opinion, was Ant-Man, which I didn't like. And that was still super successful, and most people out there liked it. All right? Do you understand the character? Do you understand what the character's story is? Do you understand how to transfer it into a movie? Look at X-Men Origins Wolverine. That is how you do not transfer Gambit. It shows the director did not understand the characters. And what worries me is that this is a studio that has made Fantastic Four, and they had a proven director there with Josh Trank, who made movies like, what was that found footage movie he made, the fantastic one? I'm blanking. I can't remember. Guys, comment below. It'll hopefully come back to me in a minute. Josh Trank was a proven director with a proven success of making proven, objectively good, if not great, movies. What happened to him in Fantastic Four? You can see where the cutoff point was there, right? So
My argument...
there's a $200 million budget going into Gambit. Why? I don't know. When you can make Deadpool for 40 to 50, I don't know why the hell you need 200 million for a Gambit movie. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's just stupid money. I don't think Avengers cost that much. It's crazy money. I may be wrong, but I know that Deadpool's
I think we have to see it before
Deadpool's a $50 million movie surrounding one character loosely connected to the X-Men universe. Same as Gambit. Why is the budget 200 million? So you've got the studio controlling that level of money, a director who is a good director, proven, but who I don't know if he has any knowledge of the character. The only person over at Fox that I trust with comic book movies is Mr. Bryan Singer. So I'm very apprehensive. I'm happy about the director casting. He's not the thing that worries me. Fox. Dun, dun, da, 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 da. You know, that's what I'm worried about. In a bad way. There's too much money in it. And I think they're going to, as you were talking about creative control earlier, I think they're going to take creative control from the director. And I am terrified of another Fantastic Four. That doesn't rub off easy. You're a defender.
I'm going to touch on Fantastic Four with one thing. A lack of action. I believe what the director would have needed, and it's not a pun on the number of people in the film or the name of the film, but I think he needed 4 hours. There was a really
there was a load of action.
There was a load of backstory, and it just went wrong. It did go wrong. That's the it.
But he had some big action pieces which they cut out.
Well, that was stupid on their behalf. That was
amongst many other things.
The Fantastic Four, without deviating from Gambit too much, the Fantastic Four is an experimental project for them. It failed.
4th time experimental project. 4 times.
Okay.
Twice with Elba and Chris Evans. Most recently with the Fantastic Four babies, which I actually Rooney Mara, and they were the young version, but I like them. They're all quality actors. And going way back to, it was Roger Corman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s or 70s?
80s, I'm sure.
You've had 4 attempts to make the Fantastic Four now, and you've been not fantastic 4 times.
But this is it. This is what, sticking with what I'm saying. They're trying to find the format.
Format is give it back to Marvel.
Which could well be what we're looking at. And I think we've got a good thing on that with a TV show, Netflix series. It could be fantastic. Right, but going into it now, I think the cash cow of Marvel for Fox, not the entire, because that is definitely Avengers. Check the records if you don't believe me. You shouldn't even have to check it. But looking at the money generating for Fox, it is the X-Men, right? And with that is Gambit, and you have to. It's sad because you don't know.
Fox don't have Star Wars anymore. Right?
You don't know where the link is with Gambit and the franchise of the X-Men. As much as we know he's part of them, we don't know what link the film is going to have.
True.
But with that, I think it's X-Men fans you're attracting. Even Deadpool's a standalone comic.
Yeah.
Gambit is an X-Men. There is no. He's deep etched. Yes, he had independent comics, don't get me wrong, but he's part of the X-Men, the cartoon. Anyone who's watched the animated series has seen Gambit. He's so... The memories. So with that, I think you have, and it's been waited on for so long. Even Deadpool, you look at Deadpool, they knew they had to revamp. They had to
make it R-rated.
Yeah, you had to unstitch the mouth. You had to give everybody everything they wanted. People have waited too long for Gambit. Much too long to see Gambit short of this. I'm gonna call it a cameo. I don't care. You can argue it if you want. It's a cameo. He had a cameo in Wolverine. It wasn't strong enough. It was nowhere near enough.
Yeah.
He should have been in there, the same etching and positioning that Cyclops has.
Yeah.
That's how big he is. Okay, Wolverine is without a doubt the biggest, but Cyclops is as close. That there's that good relationship between Wolverine.
Cyclops
and Gambit.
is the leader of the
Yeah,
X-Men.
exactly. He's the leader, but Wolverine and Gambit have that strong relationship. There was a comic Wolverine and Gambit. Do you know what I mean? This is how strong it is, and you just have to it has to be done right, and they know this.
For the movie viewers, by the way, that didn't transition into the movies.
Not at all.
Because you got to talk to both movie fans here.
Yeah,
right?
as I said,
in the movies, obviously they were.
Tat-tat-tat. Yeah, but
in the comics they were actually like that.
Even in the cartoon, there's wars, but they're
Shut
friends.
up, bub.
Exactly. Not me, mon ami. But yeah, this is what we want. We want the Cajun, the raging Cajun, as far as I'm concerned. And I think Channing Tatum is a perfect casting.
So do I actually. I'm still
really
to be
jacked for it.
convinced by him as an actor. I think he's comedy-wise fantastic. I love 21 Jumps.
And 22 actually. 22 actually came out quite well to me.
name Jaime.
Yeah, my name is Jeff. Yeah, exactly.
He was good.
Going into that, my name is Jeff really let me down because it came so quick in the film. But going back to Gambit.
He's proven to have comedic value. I'm not so sure how he handles blockbusters. Yeah, Jupiter Ascending, I mean, the role was stupid, and that wasn't down to him. That was down to the same people who destroyed The Matrix and the Wachowskis, right? I mean, they made it, but they destroyed it also. He's come a long way, Channing Tatum. Do you remember
Coach Carter?
I was going to say, do you remember him in that when he was like 17, 18? He's come a long way from that, and he's worked hard. Visually, I mean, I was saying to you off camera before that in the current day and age, you can make anyone look like anyone or anything. It's about the talent. So I'm going to say visually, I think he does, that little bandana that he has. He looks the part. And I'm hoping he can bring it to the role the way that Reynolds seems to be doing to Deadpool. Quickly on the Deadpool note. Guys, if you didn't know, another Deadpool trailer amongst X-Men Apocalypse, Batman v Superman, and Civil War. There's also a Deadpool trailer launching just before Star Wars. So geeks, we're going to be having
it's our season.
My people, we're going to be having a nerdgasm of epic content.
We shall be raising many glasses, and but
absolutely, I don't know what's going to get the biggest woo. Well, no, I do. It's when that that Star Wars music comes in. I know the sound I'm going to make, and it's going to be of the feminine nature. But I would love to see Deadpool do a Star Wars joke in the trailer. Like he could be having sex, for example, and go, "I am your daddy."
Do you know? And you know what? I hope Fox are watching for that because
they have to.
Deadpool, being the master of breaking the fourth wall, knowing what trailers are landing, could be like, you guys were excited for your whizzing sabers, but he couldn't actually quote it. He could have something, and it would be good. And I think Reynolds has that comedic delivery.
He's
behind
proven
it.
to.
Exactly. But going back to Gambit, I think the fans have waited too long. Fox know they have kept people waiting too long, and I don't know how you're going to mesh it in.
I think he should have been in the X-Men world, not as a standalone
and
movie.
This is the problem. X-Men's coming to... I don't want to say it's coming to an end, because we have a new cast.
It's not.
It's coming to a new cast, and...
You know what they could do?
It's going to merge later on.
Well, this is interesting you say that. Do you know what I think they might be doing? Taking into account everything we've just said, the way that... do you know why it seems to be coming into an end? It's because our loved Hugh Jackman is about to hang up the claws, right? That's why it seems to be coming to an end. What if Channing Tatum is about to become the new Hugh Jackman? As in being one of the main features throughout the X-Men worlds.
This is what I was going to say. Because it's a revamped crew, this is what you might be seeing, is that because he was late in coming to the party...
Because you can't just throw in another Wolverine in there.
He needed enough, because he is so popular, he needed the strong backstory, and then he comes back in. But if you are right, which I'm hoping you are, please, let us see, because I think this could work fantastically, because I believe Channing is Gambit. Right, he is.
I hope he is.
I hope he is, and I'm going to put it out there. I want to see him and Jackman on screen as Gambit and Wolverine. I think I can picture the chemistry.
When?
But this is it in the final movie, because there's the Gambit movie. There might be a time, just even if it's
in the last
scene.
Wolverine movie.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
I don't think so.
It could happen.
I think that's going to be Old Man Logan.
We'll see. But I think that there's something to be cashed in on that. I think the chemistry's there.
Nerds out there,
Casual cinema fans out there.
Casual cinema, well, more to
Everyone,
the nerds, but everyone. Are you looking forward to the Gambit movie? What do you think of Doug Liman being the director? And are you worried that the same studio that made Fantastic Four is making this very high budget movie called Gambit?
But they also made X-Men 1 and 2, and that's my argument.
With Bryan Singer as director.
It's the studio. I'm just letting people know it's still the same studio.
Different budget, different director. They should just
I'm not disputing that.
They
I'm
should
just
do
saying-
with Bryan Singer what Marvel did with Kevin Feige. Put him in charge of their X-Men universe. He knows the stuff. Anyway, let's move on. Guys, this is our last story of the day.
Okay, guys, if you enjoyed what you've just seen and would like to see our main show, which takes place every Monday, click right here.
That's right, guys. And if you like the Silver Screen Dudes, make sure to subscribe to us right here. See you guys.